Hello, I'm John Reisman, and this is Centrist News and Perspectives, where we focus on evidence, reason, and logic. Now, on July 15th, the Trump administration decided they were going to take over the COVID-19 data reporting. And so I immediately thought, as soon as they do that, will they change the data? Well, it doesn't look like it. Let's take a look at the U.S. data as it's been reported to JHU, Johns Hopkins University. As you can see on the graph, we still have an upward rise in the information regarding the number of COVID cases. And of course, we're getting more testing, but we all know that generally speaking, we're still not counting all the cases because many people are not getting tested that have the virus. And we also believe that the deaths are actually undercounted as well because those cases are undercounted as well. There are natural deaths happening at home that are not counted because we don't have enough tests and testing capacity to test everyone that's dying. I know in New York, for example, they noticed a 100% to 200% increase in natural deaths, and they weren't able to get around to testing those folks. I don't know if those results have been improved since then, but we can pretty much expect that to be happening around America. Now, it looks like Trump did not mess with the data, though. However, I decided to look at the state level, and it shows an entirely different picture. Let's take a look at Alabama. The case count was up above 55,000 cases. As soon as the Trump team got a hold of the data, it dropped down to below 10,000 cases. That means that magically all those people that got sick were no longer sick. And maybe that's what Trump meant when he meant the virus will magically go away. You just don't count those cases and they go away. Let's continue. In Alaska, you see the case count went up. There were under 2,000 cases and it shot up to over 12,000. In Arizona, we saw 130,000 cases, but as soon as Trump team took over the data, it drops down below 10,000. Arkansas, we see similar information. It was around 25,000, shoots right up to around 175, 174,000, and then continued to rise after that. California went from over 350,000 cases down to around 25,000 cases. Now this is really looking weird, isn't it? Because this is the data. Trump said he can handle the data better. Let's see what it says. Colorado, we have about 40,000 cases and it shot up to around 350,000 cases and continued to rise after that. Connecticut went down from 45,000 plus all the way down to around 10,000. Delaware, a little bit of a skew and then a rise. Florida had a dramatic fall. We're going from 300,000 cases down to around 73,000, 74,000 cases, and then it starts rising again. Now, I don't need to go through all the different states. What you need to know is the data has been seriously messed with by the Trump administration, but it looks normal on the regular count. Now, why would Donald Trump and his team want to make it look like that? It is normal, but they've changed all the data. So they made the cases look like we're on basically the same track, but on the state level, it's much more jiggered up. Now, here's what's weird about this. It means that it's easier for Trump to manipulate the data as he gets closer to the election to make it look like the case levels are dropping because he'll say, well, we're fixing that. Because this hasn't been discovered by the mainstream media yet, and I hope they pick up this story and look into it more deeply because they have more capacity. So let's hope that we get to the bottom of this story, especially before the election, because we know Donald Trump is a cheater. He's cheated his whole life. He has major bankruptcies. He's been sued. He had 38 federal indictments on him and Trump Organization. He had thousands of fraud cases, hundreds of cases he lost. The rest of the cases he burned into the ground with paperwork and basically saying, hey, you want to go bankrupt suing me? You'll never win. So a lot of people had to give up. His method is cheating. That's what he does. So now that we know he's messing with the state data, how is he going to use it to get through the election? But what we do know is we can no longer trust any of the data coming out of the Trump administration. But we kind of knew that before. I'm John Reisman, and this is Centrist News and Perspectives.